The works that people will see in the multiplex include part of a series I did complete a couple of years ago, and it was a part of a series that was really celebrating the beauty of the ever-changing landscape of Bundaberg. And it took a good 2 to 3 years actually working on that big series, and I invested a lot of time and a lot of passion and a lot of moments in the studio and a lot of moments actually exploring Bundaberg and looking at everything and observing everything so closely that it made me fall in love with the region. It makes you fall in love with it all over again. It's really so inspiring. I do like to capture iconic places in the Bundaberg region so that when the viewer's looking at my work, they'll recognise it. I'll be like, maybe their place is even in one of my paintings. And in one of the works here, some people will recognise places like the Bundy Rum Factory. I think I've got Udi's Cafe and a couple of the other cafes that you'll find located in one of the big paintings. So it really is a celebration of our region. The hummock is something else I like to paint. The coast with the coastline and all the rocks, all those iconic images of cane and rock are really essential to the landscapes that I'm doing, obviously, because that's what we're surrounded by. I have the absolute joy and pleasure of working as a full-time artist, mostly from my studio down near Innes Park, sort of along the coastline. There's lots of inspiration. But I also teach lots of workshops from the studio. I teach workshops locally and internationally. So my practice as a full-time artist is not always just about creating works, but it's really about inspiring other people to become artists or work on their own body of work as well. So all these decades of putting in the hard work with practice now allows me to share it with others, not only in sharing my images, but with helping others be better artists themselves. My history as an artist began from the moment I could hold a pencil. And if you ask my mother, I am one of those kids that just drew all the time. I seemed to display a natural talent when I was little. So Mum sent me to private art lessons when I was 8. And I started oil painting and pastel on the Gold Coast with a well-known artist back then. I can't remember his name, I was so little. And that's all I ever wanted to be. The way that I work in my practice, there's various approaches. This particular series mostly all started out with a really inky wash of a background, very much like how I start in my drawing books. So the beginning of my process actually starts often with sketches in my books, which I take everywhere with me. So when I say I'm exploring the region to be inspired, I take sketchbooks and watercolours with me. So I have books and books and books of images that I draw of Bundaberg. And then there are a select few that just really shine out and I think, oh, I'd like to turn them into a painting. So part of my mission in my practice was to, how do I get my paintings to have the essence of my drawing still in them? So starting them with that really nice loose inky wash, and then I start laying down colours, and some paintings deserve more attention than others. So some will remain loose and inky, while others will come over with layers of acrylic and oil to give them that real vibrancy that our landscape has. So it often depends on what I'm trying to capture as to what order that might go in as well. You will notice in most of my works a special significant symbol that I use of the blackbird, which is significant to me and my family. Some of us have got it tattooed on us as well. It represents a sign of our South Sea Islander heritage, and so our family lineage descend from Mare Island. And our ancestor was brought to Townsville as a slave to work on the cane fields there. And so my nana descends from there, and it was one of those histories that was hidden as we were growing up. And because we descended from, Indigenous people, it wasn't really spoken about. And I always wondered this secret bit of our history. And I remember when I was about 16, my nana bringing all those photos out one day and explaining it to us. And I was just so intrigued. And we would celebrate all of our other ancestries, the Irish and the Scottish and all of that, and we would be outspoken about it, but these were all hidden in the drawer. And so we all made a vow after Nana passed that we would do the ancestry research, and we actually have all been back to Murray Island as a family. 16 of us went back to do some family history there. And so it's a really significant part of my work. And when I look around the Bundaberg region, we're reminded of that history here, of that ancestry, looking at the black rock walls, and you'll find that featured in my work sometimes. So the black bird is something that was used as a term to say that someone had been stolen, and so that has become symbolic, and I use it as my signature in my work, just as a reference, as an honouring. As the first artist to exhibit in an installation like this in Bundaberg, is not only means a lot for me and for the opportunity for myself, but for other artists as well, that there are these opportunities that exist for regional artists. It's quite hard for us sometimes to find a bigger market or bigger acknowledgement. So I'm hoping that following me is another line of fabulous artists who also get to have their work showcased in the future.